Okay, guys, we'll move on to race 3 now. Race 3 is over the 1200 metres of Class 2. There's a field of 6 here. I found it myself to be a little bit of a tough race. I've let Gavin go through this one as he says he might have found someone. So, guys, we'll switch over to Gavin and see what he's got.
Yeah, well, this race I like a lot as well. And what we found here, we found another horse which is a sort of a natural leader in the top weight called Siakam. Now this fella had some great sort of form lines prior to going to a spell. Gary Clark took him down to Alice Springs last start, put him down there, first run on the track. Clearly didn't handle the conditions down there. And when I say conditions, and you have to think about dirt racing in the Northern Territory, both Darwin and Alice Springs are very different tracks. Darwin is just a complete fast-rated race course. That's due to the temperatures up there, the heat. So the heat keeps the track up there, which is an all-based track similar to Alice Springs, but it keeps it nice and fast. They don't tend to get into it very often, where Alice Springs has a much more sort of soft feel about it, a bit softer underfoot. So a lot of horses don't go down there immediately and handle that track, and that's clearly what happened to Siakam, because it just jumped and did nothing. And it started sort of in the money too down there, so there was a bit of support for it. So I'm expecting it to bounce back. An absolute forgive run last start. I can just see just jumping out straight on the bunny and sort of scooting away and being too good for him. Now there is another big watch on the horse here from the Phil Cole stable called Max Away, which absolutely smashed the line, didn't it, last start? I know you backed it, didn't you?
Yes, massive run from last. Missed the kick by at least 5 to 10 lengths, guys. Got the rail run, hugged the rails, and absolutely stormed home. And ran second to a decent horse too last start, so that's actually running later on in the day. So if form, if you go by form there, I think it's definitely a massive chance as well.
Yeah, we were splitting hairs when we made the decision here. So when we sat down, did the videos, looked at the sort of race map, and we went through some old form lines that we found quite interesting through both horses, and it was almost, it's a toss of the coin sort of game. Kind of leant towards Siakam, only just. So it probably looks a good Quinella for us, doesn't it, mate? So we picked Siakam to sort of finish on top, Max Away to run second, and Tayan Halter's horse, Real Reason, which is always, this thing's an absolute enigma for punters. You can't find it. It's always running on from back in the field and doesn't win out of turn, but we'll be sort of launching the line. So just to keep a sort of close eye on that one as well. So we're going to be labelling. We're going to put Siakam on top. We're going to be having Max Away for second and Real Reason to fill the placings in race 3 in Darwin. All right. Now I'll sort of lead you into race 4, Timbo, because I know when we're talking through the form lines here, and we had a nice robust discussion around this. And we weren't differing in opinions, but we were sort of like trying to work out where we both sort of had our selections in our minds and why we thought they were there. But we both agreed on one here, and I know you like it. So we're going to go to the race 4, the benchmark 0.64 over 1200. And I think you found one here, mate.
I have, punters, I have. I found my probably best bet of the day up there. Tough field, it is a tough field. It's a 6-horse field only. There is 2 horses in here that I think are absolutely massive chances in this race. I just think Noble War's last start was very good, but it was down in grade. Now he's stepping up in grade. I think it's going to be a little bit more tough, where there's a horse in there called Obligatory. It's from the Gary Clark stable. Adam Nicholas is riding, as Jared Todd is, I think he's off injured at the moment.
Yeah, we're not quite sure. I haven't seen any sort of reports about Toddy. He might be just taking a holiday, but not a forced holiday.
He might be after the carnival.
I'll need to look a bit deeper into that. So if anyone actually knows out there, send us a message and let us know, because Toddy typically rides all Clarkie's horses up there, or has first choice. So, and he'd be riding this one for sure.
Yeah, he would be. Where that doesn't worry me too much, as Nicholas is a good jockey, good rider up there, plenty of experience. So I don't think I just think last start it's a forgive run for him. He ran dead stone last. There's something went wrong. He missed the kick. He got to the turn and he basically just stopped riding the whole way down the straights, where he knew his day was over. So I'm hoping he's just saved his best for this weekend. There's another horse in there called Noble War. Like I said, one last start, massive chance. This horse I reckon this horse will try to lead as well. He might sit, if he don't, he might sit outside. Shizzy's on board. But I think Obligatory can just he should have won 2 starts ago. He was 3 or 4 wide coming around the turn where he just couldn't. He spent too much juice getting them around and coming wide. So I think that's where
that run was massive.
Yeah,
right.
massive run. Where so we know he can handle the distance up there. Too good, and one of Clark's horses. Clark is one of the major trainers up there. So I think Clarkey will have this one for sure.
All right. What about your sort of third place, mate? Have you got one sort of lined up there? I think we're looking at sort of. I think
Smart Cap. There's a jockey up there, Vanessa. Vanessa is a very one-pace jockey. If she leads on her horse, she is very hard to catch. She only has one to say. If she's on your horse, she tries to lead, or that's it. She'll run back. So she's on one of Nicole's horses up there. She's drawn barrier 1. So I'm thinking Vanessa will want to try and lead. I don't think she can lead, but I know she's going to try and keep that inside barrier 1, where she's going to hunt up there and she'll try and kick away and try to get it. But I just don't think. I think as we've drawn outsider, we're just going to be obviously be too quick for us. So Vanessa's going to have to pull back.
Yeah, I wouldn't call Vanessa a one-trick pony, but I'd suggest that her favoured racing style is to basically jump them out and put them on the pace and try and hold them off.
Yeah.
I'm not sure she's the best cold sit rider up there, mate. We've watched some good rides from her. Don't get me wrong, and she wins a lot of races.
Yeah.
And she's a good jockey, but I prefer her on a front runner.
Yeah.
If she's on a natural front runner, which can get to the lead, I tell you're going to go a long way to win the races up there. So that probably puts her against that sort of race.
That's right. Yeah. For that racing pattern, for where her horse sits, the horse is going to sit back.
Yeah.
If she was on obligatory, be great, sensational, grade 2. I'd just like to see her get it straight to the lead and just kick away and win.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So just recap those numbers for us.
So we'll go. Best bet of the day will be obligatory. Second will be Noble War, and third will be Smart Cap.
All right. That's the best bet of the day. That's the one we're going to be putting out there. We'll recap the sort of best bets that you should be looking for, but that's obviously.
I also think you'll get a decent price for it. He won't start favourite. I think Noble War and him will tussle it out for favouritism, but anywhere between 250 plus would be boosted. Definitely boosted. It'd be great to see the 280 mark.
Yeah, and you got to remember too, guys, that up in the territory, because it's smaller fields, you're not going to get that ridiculous value about runners, are you, mate?
No.
So you don't get these $18, $20 pops because the fields aren't big enough to have those opportunities or to have those chances. So, and a lot of horses up there are similar in ability. It just depends on where they've mapped in the races, where they're graded. So, now when we talk value in the territory, you're talking value in 100% market, right? So we typically price the market at 100%. We have a price that we think is the right price, and then we look for the bookmakers to release it, and then they go over that. We know we're getting value, right? So that's where we're at.
A big thing up there is also fixed price betting compared to top tote. You can see up there, you'll see a lot of blokes come for the Clark and Todd stable, where he's the biggest jockey, biggest trainer up there. A lot of people will follow him. So he might blow into $3 or $2 like that. At the end of the race, top tote we have found to be very profitable by not taking fixed price. So if you do see the money fluctuating in for him on fixed price, just stay cool and don't worry about it.
Don't panic.
Don't panic. That's right. And just follow your instinct, and I'll guarantee you'll get better price.
Yeah, and you're right, mate. Because up there, the last 6. They talk about the last 60 seconds of betting being the most important, right? Never a truer statement made than the Northern Territory. No. The last 60 seconds, the market can fluctuate. You can have a horse go from $2.50 drift to $4.80 like that, right? Yep. Because all that sort of late money is coming for horses up there. So keep an eye on the betting, but don't panic. We've learnt the lesson the hard way. Just don't panic. Don't take your prices too early.
Yep.
And just see how the market is sort of flowing. So go from there.
All right, race 5.